Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is February 18th. PJ, how we doing?
Brendan! I'm doing great. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do the Brendan. I hate to take this away from Joseph after his performance on Sunday night, but here we are. The boys are back in town.
I'm happy for you. I'm glad you let that rip. I got to say, we're going late tonight. I had another youth basketball obligation, this time more as a not as a coach getting into trouble, but as a commissioner, quote unquote,
dignitary,
being around for a top tier high stakes basketball game in the Washington D.C. area. But we're going late. I had notes during the day, but now I'm out of structure. I just all over the place. I have a feeling this could be like sort of a late night loopy here, Tuesday one. And the boys might just get loose. You might just need to take me home. Like I'm in the retirement community. Just say, sit down, grandpa. We got this one. It's only like pretty much the biggest week of the year of the PGA Tour. I now have done 6 years of podcasts about this week, though. I guess not last year. It doesn't count because that was the abominable Torrey Pines and not Riviera. So, Lamanya, before we came on, you're here. You had a spicy take about us coming back to returning to Riv, and the narrative that
we're just ripping it.
That we're like, playing for something more than FedEx Cup points this week. Would you care to elaborate here at the top?
You're dodging. I was going to follow up. Some people after Monday's episode were asking. They think you probably only represented one side of the story with respect to the technical foul that was assessed on Sunday morning. But if we're not going to grill you on that, I guess we're starting here. Yeah, early catnip call of the week. Maybe I'm stepping on something here, but I think it's a little ridiculous. We've had 2 press conferences today, Tiger and Sahith, both very interesting. I think there's a lot to dig into from both, mainly Tigers. And they're asking these guys these questions about what it means to honor the area by having the Genesis Invitational in Pacific Palisades. And I'm sorry, but this tournament has been here every year. It's not like they moved the tournament to some muni in an area that had a devastating.
No, they did not.
It was legitimately a tragedy, but they said $20 million purse, 80-man field. Are we honoring the area? You think people who lost their homes are like, oh, well, I have nowhere to sleep, but hopefully this week Rory donates $5,000 a birdie.
I love this take. I didn't hear the full fleshed out take. I'm in. I'm fully subscribed to this. It's total bullshit. Like listen to people patting themselves on the back.
Listen to the question they asked Sahith. We're playing this event 1 year after the devastating Palisades fires. To be at Riviera Country Club in your hometown, honoring those who lost everything with this tournament. Wait.
This Sahith like scraping around shooting 71 or even 62, whatever it is. Honor the air, honor those people. I mean, I'm not disparaging him in any way. I just think we're imposing a little more meaning than exists.
I do have to say, I believe the guy who asked this same question to Tiger was like the local news affiliate. This is the most like get local on your story whatsoever. This is it. We are zooming in and getting the local angle. This is what you get taught in J school. I'm proud of this guy.
I mean, there's one guy who's been doing local TV for like 100 years.
It was not that guy. That guy got the first question to Tiger.
Okay. His first question, by the way. I mean, all due respect to the old timer who's put his work in. I'm wondering. This is Tiger Woods. You got time with Tiger Woods. I'm wondering, how do you feel after all these years, knowing that people admire, respect you, and you have so much influence, not only in the game of golf, but in sports in general? Good Lord, this is a real grilling, an inquisition here. I'm wondering, how do you feel after all these years knowing people admire and respect you and love you? What?
I mean, to be fair, it's about as hard-hitting as the question that was asked in Adelaide to Anthony Kim. You're not a loser, mate. We're very proud of you.
Well, that's just a disgraceful Australian media. They are the most cheerleading media group and have been, and that's not an anti-Liv thing. It was when Jason Day was on tour and Adam Scott. I mean, they're literally like trying to carry their clubs for him while asking him questions. It's ridiculous what they do. At least, so that there's like, what was it? The guy said, "You're not a loser, mate. We
Yes.
love you." That's a question from the press conference. Good God. I love the take. You're not honoring the area. I mean, there'll be bringing some attention to the area, raising some money for the area, I suppose, with a few birdies for whatever. But yeah, this isn't like healing anything. A bunch of guys playing in the canyon for $20 million.
We are the world.
We're doing the thing that we always do, except for the 1 year we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, right? Like,
I didn't know we were starting here.
God, this is so cynical and cold. Like, again, like, this isn't minimizing the fire.
No, the fire was bad.
But
quite the opposite, I would hope.
We're imposing. Yes. Yeah, it's actually.
I actually think you should do more to actually honor the fire versus, this.
And then, you got Tiger up there. I watched this. You got this individual by the name of Jose Munoz. And they're asking him about how many units they're selling and car sales are going on. Tiger's sitting there. Who are these plants in the crowd too, by the way, that are asking him have car sales numbers while Tiger Woods is on the dais and asking him about it? Like, who's in the press? Is it somebody from like Car and Driver magazine that somehow got in there and has data on the Genesis's sales and doesn't want to ask Tiger a question, but wants to ask Jose Munoz about that?
I'm excited for this event. I can't believe we're starting on this foot.
I think we're starting hot, personally. I think we're coming out swinging. We're at minute 8.
Let's just dispose of the Tiger press conference. What other notes and news do you have from that? Any other angles?
I think we need to start booking flights to the greater Woodlands area for the Insperity.
PJ texted me during the press conference, we're going to Houston. I was like, wait, confirmed? What happened? Nope, just Champions Tour.
No, just shit posting about the Champions Tour. I think we're going. Like, I think we need to book a hotel now. I think we got to get out in front.
He does seem seduced by the idea of driving a cart or being able to have a cart. He seems intrigued. Seduced is probably too strong a word, but
probably an interesting word choice.
I don't know. I don't know for him, but could be anything.
I mean, does he need a driver for the cart? I mean, this has always been a notion of like Tiger should have a driver at this point, right?
Do you think he's going to trick it out like Darren Clark does with his like own steering wheel and the speaker and the clip-on rangefinder?
I don't know. It was fine. There was nothing newsworthy of it. Do you have anything, Lamagna? This notion, like, I'm sorry. Tiger is not billing 100-hour weeks doing future competition committee work.
You would not know that.
It's
from the way everybody's talking about it.
This is the same. He said hours and hours and hours every day, 7 days a week, and hours and hours. This is the new age. I run 25 miles every single day before you wake up, and then I lift weights. I do 4 different weight workouts during the course of the day, which he was allegedly doing in the early 2000s. The guy, I'm sorry. It seems like he has invested his time and effort and enthusiasm, and I don't want to say he saved the PGA Tour. He certainly has gotten behind it in a way that should be commended. But if they have Tiger, like, honestly, in the weeds working 100-hour weeks on the board, it's not credible. That's not a credible claim.
Is Tiger more valuable to the PGA Tour, like making calls on, are we going to move Torrey Pines to August, or like playing 6 times a year? Would you rather him spend time actually rehabbing for the umpteenth time, or like 100-hour weeks, quote unquote, trying to figure out whether we can play a playoff event at Pebble Beach?
Obviously playing, but it doesn't seem like he can. It sounds like the back is still the issue. Achilles is still good. Masters is not off the table. I don't know what that means. everybody clipped that quote right away. And the question was imprecise enough, and Tiger likes to be cheeky this way. Is the Masters off the table? I said, no. What does that mean? Could mean anything. I could go to the Masters. I could go to the Champions Dinner. I could go to the Masters in 2027. I could go to the Masters in 2028. And Tiger would take that and run with it. I think he's probably like, in some far-fetched corner of his brain thinking he could play. But, that was the clip. Anything else from Tiger talking? Jupe Links, Lamagna, I know you're tickled. Their good friend Jeff Shackelford.
You guys are honestly, Brendan, you're more cynical. I feel like I'm pretty cynical about a lot of. I actually thought Tiger's press conference, it was pretty insightful and entertaining. That was the highlight for me.
You are you like light match getaway. You come in here getting us worked up about honor of the area. Now I'm kind of coming in cold from youth basketball. You got me on my fired up. Let's just unload the clip. And now you're like, oh, you're so cynical. I thought it was entertaining and insightful. What was entertaining about it?
First off, massive shout out to Jeff Shackelford for a masterful question in the press center that Tiger got a big chuckle out of, probably on par with the laugh I got audibly as Jeff asked it. PJ, did you clip this?
No, I didn't. You do it justice.
So Shaq asked Tiger, and this is one of those that if we read the transcript and didn't know Shackelford had asked it, we probably would have made fun of it. But it was masterfully done. He said, "We've seen you recently doing some captaining work for Jupiter Lynx. Wondering if that's given you a desire or itch to be Ryder Cup captain in 2027. If you've heard from the PGA of America and where that stands." And Tiger laughed, and he was like, "Good tie-in. That was well done, Jeff."
He did like it.
But Tiger's reaction, he said, "They asked me for my input. I haven't made a decision yet." Basically goes on to say that he doesn't know if he has the time to do that job justice. But I think that's fairly substantive that Tiger's been asked.
I guess. I thought that was like.
Did you think they weren't going to ask him?
No, but yeah, okay, fair enough. I thought the schedule stuff was also substantive.
What other earth-shattering nuggets you got for us, Joseph, from this? No,
I thought the schedule stuff was relevant.
The schedule stuff was interesting, but did we get anything revelatory?
I think the way that they asked the question, basically, what would you get if what would be some of the benefits of moving the schedule, the playoffs, and some of the West Coast swing to August? The way Tiger talked about it didn't feel that hypothetical. So I think it felt like he was kind of confirming that that's probably what they're going to do. He said, well, I think for one, you're not going to get weather like this. We're going to have perfect days. It's always perfect in August. We're looking at that. He was saying it as if it didn't feel super hypothetical. And I was thinking maybe Brendan, you're going to roll your eyes in your cold, cynical heart right now, but it actually would be kind of cool if one of Tiger's, if part of his legacy is leaving his footprint on the schedule in a way that the playoffs end with events that Tiger kind of made. That would be a pretty sweet way for the PGA Tour schedule.
What events would those be?
Torrey Pines, potentially Riviera. I know Riviera is a scheduling nightmare.
He didn't do anything to make Riviera. He hated Riviera. He didn't play at Riviera. He never wanted Riviera. Okay.
Yeah, but it's his event. I think you have Jack's event, you have Arnold's event, and having a little playoff swing that kind of represents Tiger. Wow, yeah, you're shaking your head over there.
I think cool. It's good. I agree. I guess Tiger's leaving. I guess Tiger's doing it. I guess he's the one making the schedule, remaking it. And that would be good. It does seem like he has some input and some weight on the process, which is appropriate. He should.
Well, he's got to be out there calling sponsors and moving stuff around. How else are you going to fill a timesheet for 7 days a week? You think he's on the phone with the Sentry guy being like, "Hey, sorry we screwed you this year, but I can do this for you next year."
I mean, does TGL count as the billables? Is that what he's? Because he just kind of goes there and smiles and waves, walks around, walks from the green zone back to the bench to the green zone.
Gets illegally flagged for using the hammer.
Jeep
I don't
Links
know.
might be on the comeback trail. I'm getting a lot of Jeep Links buzz from down there. I might bring the bucket hat back out. So my Jeep Links bucket hat. What else do you have from Tiger? Anything else before we get on? This was not the news of the day, in my opinion. But anything else, Lamagna? If like that feels
Guess
like a
not.
good, prudent schedule change.
Yeah, and it
Could
would
we
also be a pretty big deal if it were to happen. I think that'd be a massive change on the PGA Tour.
Memphis for LA. Who says no? Atlanta for Pebble Beach. Who says no in August? Do you know
The Smith family.
the Smith family, Southern Co, those kind of things? I don't know. It feels like they're on the right path and thinking about big things. It was interesting to hear him say, when I started, we would play after Halloween. That was the tour championship, right?
Mhm.
And it just, I loved playing the silly season because I could go to Australia. It just, I think the one thing with the golf schedule is nothing is very static, right? And maybe this is a chance to make something that's more of like a 20-year piece of, kind of a set in stone schedule, right? If they can find the right venues and the right times. So it does feel a lot less like title sponsors are wagging the dog. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That was like the entire schedule issue forever is, Jay Monahan and Tim Fincham and whoever before him playing like whack-a-mole with title sponsors. Though they call the shots, or they at least like have an outsized sway, right? Whether it's, I don't want to name names, right? They just had an outsized sway. Dean and DeLuca, Colonial Invitation.
I think, Brendan, I think the other part of this that's interesting, and that this is happening against the backdrop of what's happening in the NBA and them like having this crisis around tanking, I don't think is coincidental that you have two sports where the schedule was too big. And people can say that in 2018, 2019, the PGA Tour schedule was working, and before Liv came along, everything was great. I think that is revisionist history, and there were clear leaks in the schedule going back to then that it wasn't going to work. A 40-event schedule, sports change, the speed has gone up. You don't have guys playing every week. And I think you are seeing the situation in the NBA isn't identical, but again, I don't think it's a coincidence that they are having this crisis at the same time and trying to fix their schedule, which will probably end up potentially in a smaller schedule where every game is more consequential. Like everyone in the NBA acknowledges that they need a smaller schedule. Whether they'll end up doing it or not, who knows? But
hey,
I think that's more support for the idea that the PGA Tour schedule was broken.
You never had to write. You sit up there in your castle. You never had to write a Brian Stewart When's Dessert Classic post like I did. I've been through the trenches, son. I walked those fields. I agree. The way we used to justify it is like, well, in the NFL, you get like a Titans Colts game, and that's just that sometimes you get that. You get just crappy games, and you know what? But you got a guy like Brian Rolab come in. Like, why do we have to have a tournament why do we have to not put our best foot forward or attempt to put our best foot forward simply because we just need to have an event every week or have to have an event this week? It's a fair perspective as long as the cash isn't, running out and they got to pot the piss in and all that, and they have a lot of financial backing right now.
I think my only concern with the potential new PGA Tour schedule, it will be better. I do think there's something to golf being on every week.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
And
but can it be, G Leagues on steroids, 4A kind of thing, Yeah.
But I think the top golfers in the world having an opportunity for a rep is important and getting prepped for majors, and there being golf every week also from a fan's perspective. Like, I hope we don't lose that. So
I'm fair. Agree with
during
that.
During the season.
This week is not one of them. This week is top tier, top class, top shelf. It is the Genesis Invitational, RIP, Los Angeles Open. This is invitational as heck. Purse is $20 million. Do you remember your defending champ here?
I mean, are we doing Hideki or are we doing?
I was going to say it's Hideki Matsuyama, technically.
Hideki Matsuyama. Notables in the field. The defending champ, Ludwig Oberg, is how he's defending champ portrayed here. Sam Burns, Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Hovland, Hideki, Rory, Rose, Xander, Scotty Scheffler, your television times are Thursday and Friday, 4 to 8 p.m. on Golf Channel. I feel like they never ever finish on time at 8, and it always runs into kind of darkness, and it'll be more 8:30 on Golf Channel. Whatever marquee players are playing late there. Saturdays 1 to 3, 3 to 7 on CBS, and a 6:30 finish on CBS on Sunday. The purse is a whopping $20 million, honoring the area, and it's at Riviera Country Club. One of the very best golf courses on the PGA Tour. Maybe not for Lemagna's tearing little exercise, but
high.
it is. I've said this before. I think there's very few events on the PGA Tour I would suggest are like pilgrimage possibilities. And if you could convince your significant other, your family, your kid to just go to LA for like a weekend and see Riviera, see now what, is pretty guaranteed to be a strong field every single year. You want to talk about battles. You remember John Merrick when he was going hard at Charlie Belgian here? We're not that far removed from names like that in the mix. It's for me an awesome spectating experience. It's obviously a great classic golf course where every single hole is kind of memorable. It's the opposite of sort of a East Lake in that regard, or some of the Memphis where you just kind of know a few holes here and there. You can pretty quickly commit just about 1 through 18 to memory. There might be a few you forget, like 8 or something, but split fairway. But it's just easy to commit to memory, and it's so easy to jump around. Like you can go from 3 green, all of a sudden you're on 18, and then you can go you can jump sides and really navigate it. And it's just it's a primo as good as it gets. For me, it's if anything they can do. I don't know if they could make like super elevated events, but this is one of them. It should become like going to Lambeau Field, going to Fenway Park. It should be like elevated even further than it is. And that's my pitch on the Genesis Invitational. I've talked about this tournament every year now for 6 years. Let's get some youth blood in on the Invitational. PJ, what do you got for us?
Is it better as an 80-man field, or is it better if it was a little bit more open?
I mean, it depends on are they going to enforce pace of play? Sure, they should probably have they could afford probably 25 more people or more. But, this one, it was completely hopeless to finish before dark when it had the full field deal, right? And it would be freezing and all that stuff. I just, it's one of these early season events that isn't on 2 venues like a Torrey or an Amex, Pebble, when it's the full field. So, yeah, it would be nice to have closer to 100. I don't know.
Or, well, if you're moving this to a playoff event, in theory, potentially, possibly, what's the cutoff? Do you want this to be the second round? Do you want this to be the first round? Do you want to maximize how many players, or do you only want the top 50 out here?
I don't care. 50 sounds good. Middle guy sounds good. Lemagna, what do you have?
I don't think I care.
Yeah. I don't think it's the too big deal. I think it's like a showcase, right? You probably lose some big names who don't have good seasons, chopped off of the 50. Somebody like Jordan Spieth, maybe. But no, I don't know.
He's got a 50% chance of making the playoff now, so could be anything.
What's the bit from Data Golf? His sponsor's exemption to Bay Hill.
The API sponsor exemption has bumped him to a 54 and change % chance of making the top 70.
Andy's talking about how he's deleting all these social media apps off his phone. He's allegedly on complete isolation down somewhere, it's tropical, Caribbean, wherever he is. And there he is with the energy, the access to tweet about Jordan Spieth nugget to get it off this morning. It's what are you doing? I thought you're on vacation. He's not. There are no days off from popping just a guy. Apparently, just to hit.
Since PJ, I know you said he's up to 54%. What that tweet was from Data Golf was that they've built a simulation that projects how likely somebody is to make it to Eastlake, or that one was to the top 70, I think.
Yeah, that was to make the playoffs.
And just the sponsor exemption increased Spieth's chances by 5%, which is not insignificant
in this model.
In their model.
Simulation. Yeah. We're all living in a simulation when you think about it.
Thought Sahith had some cool quotes on Riviera. Did you guys see that?
Please throw them my way.
He said it's an architectural masterpiece. This is Sahith. I don't know a lot about golf course architecture, but it seems like every part of the golf course is very intentional. There wasn't a bunker or a tree or a slope or a dogleg that was just by luck that happened to be a good design aspect. It seems like everything was super intentional. And
it is really built. It's like really built within the canyon, of course. And I know they've touched it over time or let things go over time. Some mowing lines. The first tee is always like one of the things. It's like even if you're an amateur agronomist or an amateur architect, you like start laughing. Like, is that supposed to be this whole belt line with the other stuff going on around it? Yeah, everything about it. There's a minimal amount of bunkers. The ones that are there can be pretty penal, but there's not a lot of them. There's no water. It is intentional. That's a good quote. That's cool. What else do we have?
That was the main thing on the golf course. He did say, he was asked if he looks at stats, if he's a stats guy. And he said, more or less, he doesn't look at a lot of stats. I love looking, especially on Twitter, when people post obscure stats about stuff. I eat it up, unfortunately.
Why is that unfortunate?
I think he's just making a joke about being on social media.
Scrolling. Yeah. Sahith the Sifford exemption this week, so he's in the field via that. I thought that was for, quite frankly, like an APGA player or a college player. Am I wrong on that? I mean, Sahith is a dyed-in-the-wool PGA Tour player at this point, right? Like a bona fide.
I believe it is for a minority golfer.
Well, I know that part, but I thought it was for like Aaron Beverly.
Well, congrats to Sahith.
Which or what are we? Are we gatekeeping here? Are we checking the? What are we doing, PJ?
I don't know if we're gatekeeping anything, right. But that's just how he got.
I just thought it was for an APGA or college or amateur player. So does Sahith need another free handout for a signature event?
Well, this now begs the question. We have a 5th exemption spot this week in the Aon Swing 5 versus the sponsor exemption.
Because of this one? Because
of this. So now here I'm saying to you two decide, are we going with the 4 sponsor exemptions in name, or are we adding Sahith and it becomes a 5-on-5?
I go 5-on-5. Full line v line.
All right. So your team exemption will be Sahith Theegala, Tony Finau, Tom Sim, who has been expelled from the SoFi Dome to this point, Adam Scott, and Max Homa. So there's your 5.
Solid.
There's some potential there. Tony Finau did play well last week.
At Max place Homa too, between Homa and Adam Scott. Yeah.
Versus your same 5 as last week for the Aon Swing 5. I believe we reset going to the next signature event after this. Will be Pearson Coody, Rio, Jake Knapp, so hot right now, Matt McCarty, and P. Raj.
Who do you like in that 5-on-5, Melania?
PJ, give me the Aon again. I don't have that committed to memory.
Coody, Rio, Jake Knapp, Matt McCarty, Patrick Rogers.
It's pretty close.
It's good. It's a good matchup.
It's a good matchup.
I think I'm going to Aon. That's just hard though. Those guys have really done well at Riviera.
I'll go team sponsor. I'll just hedge. I get to win either way.
All right.
I'm going Aon. I'm riding the hot hand. We have 2 people tracking this for us. Thank you very much. We have an SGS tracker on Twitter that has been tagging me in all of these after Brendan said we need a tracker account. And then we have a Friday Golf Club member named John who made it like a website for this. If we're going by FedEx Cup points, Aon Swing 5 over tripled the winnings last week. And the dollar figure was 1.1 million to 424,000. at Pebble Beach. So
Game-
on Swing
game.
5 up early.
Yeah,
It's a lot
it's fun.
of money. They really honored that area.
What else do we have, Lavanya? What else piqued your interest about Riv?
I think one thing you'll hear about that's an interesting comp, the Augusta crossover. That storyline kind of gets heated
Every time.
year. Yeah,
Guys who do well at Augusta. Guys,
it's a good one though. It's a
Yeah.
good one.
Sure.
I think it's not going to play as much that way. The weather's a big story this week. Again, probably underscoring why this potentially could move to August if they can make it work. It's going to get a ton of rain. It's going to get a bunch of rain overnight as we're recording into Wednesday morning. It's going to rain a bunch potentially Thursday, and then the weekend looks pretty clear, but won't play quite like Augusta. I think the similarity is kind of like the big small targets. It would be one way of putting it, right?
Yeah,
like
I hear you. Yep.
Big greens, small targets, and when it's firm, that really allows some of the premier iron players to shine. I don't think we're going to see as much of that since it'll be a little wet, but Bubba, Hideki, John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Adam Scott, and Phil all won it both. I know you'll hear a lot of that, but I think there's something to it. So maybe for a player like Chris Gotterup, who hasn't made his debut at Augusta, like a little bit of a litmus test, see where he stacks up against some of the best players in the world. Other notes, there are new tee boxes on holes 4.
These are a disaster. These are a disgrace.
All right, why? Go ahead.
I mean, so the 4th hole is the Redan. It's an ass kicker. One year, my first round coming out of winter, like Northeast golfer, hadn't played any golf. I go out to Riviera, media day, which was a shotgun. I hadn't swung a golf club since September, and it's January. Like, you're starting on 4. I was like, Jesus, I'm not very good. You want me to hit it like a 230? It's not for that. Like 225 yard par 3, the Redan right away. That was a real punch in the face to start a golf year. They've now made it, what is it, 272?
273, yeah.
273. And Garrett's written eloquently about this hole in recent years. It's lost its luster because of the Kikuya has become so sticky in the approach area, hence like kind of taking a little bit of the point of a Redan out of it. The tee box fundamentally changed the hole, the angle, the entire like a view and approach. I don't know if they're probably going to go back to 272 that much. Like, I think that's kind of another sign that we've lost proportion of the whole game. I know there are 299 yard par 3s at Oakmont and there are long par 3s, but why does the 4th hole at Riviera need to be 272 yards? It seems kind of stupid for a par 3 of this sort of historic character and this template. It just seems kind of stupid. I know Redan's many can be long. 272 just feels disproportionate, like we've lost the plot. Jeff Shackelford outlined this in his newsletter as well. Great newsletter. Subscribe to that. His costs money. Ours does not. Subscribe to both. It's worth paying for his and getting ours as well. But and no one knows Riv as well as Shaq. It changed the angle. It's like it sometime a tee box tweak or taking it back can it's sort of de minimis. Whatever happened is just changes on the card. This is kind of fundamentally changing the hole and changing the look at a Redan from that far over. And the same for 18. Why did this need to happen? What was with all the things that this course may be crying out for a tuck and a nip and tuck? This isn't one of them. Because now at 18, you can kind of hit the straight ball all the way up. You don't have to you don't have to cut it, or you don't have to kind of shape it left to right through, the side hill on the left and the trees on the right. And now there's opportunity to sort of just go straight at it. And the danger of like hitting it up into that deathly rough side hill rough area is mitigated. And yeah, they were pretty significant alterations just for moving a tee box, which I don't think you get too often when you're talking about moving a tee box. But when you move them at a place like this with this character And to quote Sahith, where everything seems intentional, the impacts can be a little more noticeable and outsized, in my opinion. Do you have as much of a searing critique of the tee box changes? And by the way, it's unclear who exactly is consulting and doing all this. Is this the tour pushing this? Is it a Fazio associate? Is it just the maintenance staff under the direction of the owner of the club telling it? Like, I'm wondering what the plan is or why this was needed. I guess maybe just for the tour event. So
I think we are spiritually aligned. I feel like a little bit of a different position. I think 4 was kind of a disaster of a golf hole before, and it remains a disaster of a golf hole. That, as you mentioned, that Redan does not work the way that it was designed because of the Kikuyu grass. They're not going to replace the Kikuyu grass, clearly.
Yeah.
So the hole didn't work before. It doesn't work now. I don't know that it's worse, but like I've taken videos and posted them of shots where guys are intentionally or not landing shots short, like the Redan was as the 4th hole was built. It doesn't work. The ball either sticks short or it bounces and rolls over. I don't know what the exact percentage is. It's like maybe 25-30% of guys who are hitting that green on a relatively firm day, maybe even a little lower than that, 20%. So everyone was bouncing it over the back of 4 and then chipping back towards the flag. It didn't work then. It doesn't work now. It doesn't necessarily offend me. I don't think they've really changed the strategy of that hole that much, and they probably won't even use that back tee box, but we're just not addressing the issue, which is equipment. And then also in this case, the Kikuya. The only thing I'll mention on 18, I don't know that it needed to happen. The hole now measures 499 yards. Before it was 475-ish. And I can remember in 2021, Max Homa had 125 yards.
Wedge, yeah.
Into 18. An uphill 475-yard hole. He was hitting 125 yards in. So
it wasn't long ago Bob Allenby was having to hit lumber and things like that in that hole to win the tournament.
Right. So the people who continue to argue that distance is not a problem, like how many examples do you need? How many tee box? Pebble Beach, we had another tee box. There's going to be more at St. Andrew. Like, what else would you need to see at this point than that there's a massive issue?
They did put 3 in on that new angle at 4, which I don't know if the strategy changes. It's a new hole. It feels like a very new hole, and you can kind of go right down the line. And but they did put multiple boxes on that angle. And Shaq goes, "Oh, it looks kind of like a sod farm. I don't know why we need this many boxes stacked on top of each other. Just put one over here." Yeah, those are minor changes, but at a place that we said is intentional and has this history. It's noticeable and significant. What the impacts are. What else do we have? Who are 5 favorite tee times, PJ? Who do you like for tee times? We have tee times now. We're recording so late.
I thought we were going 5 guys to watch first.
Let's do 5 favorite tee times. Do you have those?
All right. There's not a ton to choose from. But I will start. I mean, there's only 24
it's 80
groups.
Guys.
Yeah,
that's plenty. What's wrong?
It's not a lot going on to get 5.
You're looking for your.
I'm looking for
Nacho Elvira type or something.
Yeah, so I pitched this first one to Joseph. He laughed at me, but I'm gonna throw it here anyway. Literally the first grouping of Sammy Valmaki, JT Poston, and Rico Hoey. It's getting late early for the Hoey heads. I don't know how Andy feels. I feel not great about predicting Rico Hoey to make it to East Lake. Sammy Valmaki has been playing pretty well. JT Poston popped a little bit last week. I'm waiting to see something from Rico Hoey. So that's
all right.
Broomstick broomstick update, still bad at putting.
Yeah, it's not good. He's basically the same guy he has always been, which is not going to get you to East Lake historically. So here we are. So Hoey heads, we're watching. Then we will go to the penultimate Thursday group of Minwoo Lee, Jordan Spieth, and Daniel Berger. There's so much going on here.
Fascinating combo. What's going on there?
So much going on here. Chapinski pops, has a chance to win at Pebble. Jordan Spieth, obviously, is Jordan Spieth. And as Joseph texted me last week, it's getting bumpy in the waters on Burger Island. Are we straight vibing anymore? The water's pretty choppy right now. It's not good. We're not in a good spot.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Look, I mean, Burger's basically been MIA since like the 2021 Ryder Cup. So I don't know. I guess it's bumpy.
Well, it was a big injury. Came back.
I agree. No, totally.
Totally. Twice. And here we are. Water's a little bumpy right now. Joseph, do you have any thoughts on DB?
Not really. He said like 2 falls ago that when he plays well, a lot of these guys just really aren't on his level. And love the quote, but you can't. Eventually, you got to prove that. So I love his game, but that's a good quote at the time, and probably one that he looks back on a little bit and maybe wishes he had back.
Oh, it's good. That's a good quote.
We'll go with Ryder Cup USA group at 8:15. Keegan Bradley, Ben Griffin, and Sam Burns. Joseph, as you mentioned, Chris Gotterup making his Masters debut. Ben Griffin making his Masters debut. Where has he been to start this year? Not as good as it was last year. Obviously, early returns here. So, what can we see from Ben Griffin? Sam Burns coming off a pretty big week last week.
Sure.
You think Ben Griffin after Thursday's round is going to ask Keegan if he's allowed to play on Friday?
That was good. I didn't get there.
I like that.
That was very good. We'll go Tom Kim. Not a featured group for television, but a featured group here. Tom Kim, Ricky Fowler, and Max Grazerman. Now, why are you asking? Why do I have this in my top 5? I'm just giving Ricky his proper due. He's playing great golf. Top 20 machine right now. Not on television coverage. And why am I bringing this up? Because the Ricky Fowler tracker is pissed off. Not happy, goes over the top of the featured group's announcement from the PGA Tour. What is this? Can't believe it. Brendan brings back the Fan Vote Friday archive. I mean,
this is like the Ricky tracker complaint about not making feature groups is like, a Chiefs fan saying they're don't get enough calls.
It's like, oh my God, the Patriots, it's been so long since we made it back to the Super Bowl.
Like, what are you talking about? Get out of here, dude. Like, you basically had an entire in-house state-run media company propping your fella up for like 5 years. And now you don't get featured groups. I get that he's doing all right. He's doing better recently. That's good. I like Ricky. I think Ricky's one of the nice chaps on tour. But, we don't need him in feature groups yet again. So.
No, but he's in a feature group here. So somebody, it could be anything.
Stay the hell off the stage right now. Maybe he's got to win or do something to get back on.
Could be anything. Yeah. So you could say, did Ricky get jammed by not making it into a premier pairing because they don't want to put Tom Kim in featured groups? That's an option.
That might be a thing. Yeah. Yeah. What else do we have?
And then I'll just go last group. You have the 2 defending champions, the actual defending champion of this event, Hideki Matsuyama, Ludwig, and JJ Spawn playing a home game in LA. I'll take that group to round this out.
Love it. Who are Andy's guys? He texted us 5 guys to monitor. He got really into it.
I have it. Do you need it?
Go for it.
Ricky. 5. I think he might have said 5
top 20.
He's 5 top 20s in a row. Yeah. Going back to the FedEx St. Jude. So Ricky's actually playing some good golf. It's one of Andy's guys. What, Brendan? What's that face?
5 top 20s? Like, what are we doing? Isn't this the story of Ricky? The top 20? Another top 20? I know he's had some great fall-offs off the ledge, and I want Ricky to be good, but what are we supposed to do? Throw him a parade? He got a top 20. Like, he's the story of Ricky. I'm like some, finishes hovering in and around contention, however loosely and ambiguously you want to define it. I don't know.
I could have sworn it was just 2 minutes ago that he was happy Ricky was playing well again.
I am. I just Andy this whole
Andy's not saying is Ricky going to win. I just think it's a like, hey, is this guy maybe a little bit back? Is he maybe a top 25? I'll stand up for Andy here.
Don't try to interpret it, Andy, what he's trying to say here.
It's a hard brain to interpret. I'm going to stand up for him a little bit.
All right.
That's one. Tom Kim, will his crowds overwhelm his playing partners, a la Tiger? Which I think is a very fair storyline.
Get ready to hear the roars for Tom Kim, baby.
We got Kevin Van Valkenburg on site today, this week. We might need to dispatch him out there to count people in the Tom Kim gallery. See if he can do it.
Well, it's the Ricky gallery, so there's going to be people there.
Yeah, those
we're just having time.
LA people just go for bright and shiny things that may or may not be good. The Ricky. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Great golf crowd.
Andy's third one, Jake Knapp, playing a home game. Is he on his ascent to superstardom? So Jake Knapp has started the season very hot. I think people who have been watching closely have seen that. He started the season T11, T5, 8th, and then a T8 again this past week at Pebble. It's kind of one of the questions.
Team A on swing 5. Team A on swing 5 is Jake Knapp.
That's one question that I also had in my notes. Can Jake Knapp be a good iron player? Because that's something that I've been trying to figure out. Like, I don't know enough about the golf swing, so maybe just putting this out there in the ether, some people will have some feedback who know more about the golf swing. But Brendan, there was some pod last year you and I had talked about, like every time Jake Knapp hits a good iron, it feels like lightning has to strike with the timing of his swing. And he's putting so well. He's such a good driver that if he actually could become a decent iron player, it's not crazy to think that he could be, top 25, top 30 type guy consistently. But it just doesn't look to me like a swing that can produce consistent iron play. Plus, he has a ton of speed, so he has the big iron gaps that we talked about on Monday. That'd be a question for the more swing-informed people out there, but I think that's something to watch.
Feels like kind of an important part. Irons. Can you hit irons well? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Speed demon, though. He's playing well.
Also, did you know Jake Knapp's middle name?
No.
We have another Richard on the tour.
Oh, so it could have been Dick Knapp?
Dick Knapp.
That's pretty good. I like that better than Jay. Let's just start calling him that here. We'll start calling him Dick Knapp. All right.
For Patrick Cantlay, he watched a struggling star win last week. Is Patrick Cantlay next? That's Andy's fourth.
A lot of buzz for Cantlay. A lot of Paulie's picks. He's the only pick for Paulie. All the touts,
did you know that
called.
This is his favorite course in the world? Have you heard that before?
Did he say that? Honest to God, did he say that?
He says that all the time.
Okay.
He loves it. Like every year.
I know he extols the virtues of it. I don't know if it's his favorite or what, but he is getting a lot of buzz from the handicappers or whoever they are, the gambling podcasts and whatnot. Big Cantlay week, maybe.
Scared to say this. I think some of that love needs to get dialed back a little bit. But fifth one, Deputy Sam Burns. Also, quick note, apologies.
Yeah.
We said he hit 3-wood on Monday. He hit iron off the tee on 18.
Not we. You said.
Even worse.
Okay. All right.
I said it. Sure. Will his decision to lay up off the tee on 18 allow this house kitten to never leave the house again? That is from Andy.
It's a fair question.
Meow.
He's got to wear that one for a while, protecting the points. All right, those 5 guys to monitor. Andy's 5 guys to monitor. Go. No Rory, no Scotty, nothing. Who's Rory with in his tee time? Who did he draw? Or Scotty, who's he with?
Well, I wasn't going for the low-hanging fruit for those. Scotty is with Siwoo Kim and Xander Schauffele. Comfy pairing for Scotty.
Sure.
And Rory, where is Rory? Rory is with Colin and Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh, that's a great group. Some
can I throw out one more tee time to watch?
Yeah, please.
I saw this one first. Ryan Baroff on Twitter, great follow. He pointed out Wyndham Clark and Marco Penji are playing with Brian Campbell.
Oh, God.
You want to do a little game within the game, ball speed tracker. Where do these tee shots end up? Track Brian Campbell's tee shots against Wyndham Clark and Marco Penji.
I need Campbell to put him in a body bag. Just go old man.
Just bunt it around.
Game. Yeah.
It's not that hard to do. Let's be honest.
Do you have a one and done pick? Who is Andy's one and done pick?
Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay, that's right. Fleetwood
is Andy's pick.
And then Peach, do you have one?
This is stupid. I know this is stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to take Rory. When we look at the list of things that what's left for Rory, winning at Riviera is on the list. So I'm going to cash in my Rory McIlroy ticket.
Not stupid, PJ. Brendan's reaction there is
well,
a little crazy.
you know,
it's more about the person. Like, is this? I don't know. Maybe it is.
What do you mean? It's more money. It's more money than a major.
No, it's not.
It's not. But it is big.
It's like
I'm
not
agree.
worried about it.
I agree. Okay, maybe this is the time to use it. Go ahead.
I mean, everyone's going to use him at Quail Hollow, right? Especially since Scotty skips it. But if you're trying to zag a little bit, PJ, that's not crazy. Don't listen to Brendan.
What's his best Riviera finish? I feel like I haven't.
Fine.
I don't recall him being a super close factor.
I can get it. His best finish is T4.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, Joseph, do you have a pick?
I'm still deciding. Late on Saturday into Sunday morning, I was thinking I was going to go Colin, but then he won, and I'm a little worried about that. But I still probably Colin or Fleetwood would be my guess.
I mean, this is the podcast. It's still deciding. It's not an answer. Like, you make the pick. Make a pick. What's your one and done pick?
I haven't decided. Give me. I have to decide right now.
This is the podcast. It's not, talk about it and then do it in secret later when we're not talking. I'm going with the bridge man. The other George Thomas.
What?
I need to switch it up. I need to get off this mainstream stuff. There's too much. There's not enough Martin Laird and Brendan Todd in my picks lately. I'm going with the bridge man. Not the George Thomas design with the bridges and like Bel Air, but the bridge man will bring them to Riviera.
Well, you know, if you wanted a differential, you could have joined me on Hoagie last week, but you were too good for that.
Screw it. I'm going Goddard. Just totally.
All right.
I'm glad we made you pick.
Yeah, we just
thrown out two guys you didn't end up taking. All right. That does it. Any other Riviera thoughts, Lamagna, you want to throw out from your notes?
I don't know. It's
overrated.
2 years since Tiger left the scene in a paramedic truck. I feel like that's, as it was described by a media member, I feel like that's a good end.
Yeah. Yep. It has been a couple of years since that. What else? Where does it rank on PGA Tour events for you? What's ahead of it?
I think I have 4 golf courses, including Augusta, ahead of it. I think Riviera suffers from equipment significantly and the grass around the greens, and everyone's a little shy to critique the golf course and the way it plays because it feels like they're going after a sacred cow on tour. And I think there should be a little more recognition that the golf course isn't playing anywhere near as strong as it could, and it's still one of the best venues on tour. So I have it 4th. I have it behind Augusta, Sawgrass, and Muirfield Village. I know a lot of people will take issue with putting it behind Muirfield Village, but I think the way it plays for professional golfer right now is not quite as high as it should be.
I think that's fair. That's fair company. All right, that does it for the Genesis Invitational for now. We'll talk plenty about that on Friday. Maybe do a flashback on the old Genesis. On the LPGA Tour schedule for the week, we have the Honda LPGA Thailand at Siam CC, the Pattaya Old Course. Not to be confused with the Acai Old Course, the Pattaya Old Course in Chonburi, Thailand. The purse is $1.8 million. That is just not a lot of money. That's ridiculous. $20 million for the boys, $1.8 million for the girls. The defending champ is Angel Yin. Notables are Salim Boutier, Brooke Henderson, Jin Yun Ko, Lydia Ko, Rio Takada, Gino Tedakul, Lottie Wode, Mio Yamashita, and Angel Yin, your defending champ. This is on at some ungodly hour, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. All 4 days. Saturday night finish. That's a couple weeks off on the LPGA, couple weeks in a day, given that they abdicated from the final round of the Hilton Lake Nona Grand Vacations. But they're back now. No Nelly Korda, just refuses to do any of the Asia swing events. It's like 20 in a row, but that's fine. That's her right. So that's your LPGA event. They're back in Thailand, obviously becoming an increasingly prominent women's golf nation. And Gino is there this week. On the DP World Tour, we have the magical Kenya Open at Karen Country Club. People just always complain about the service at Karen Country Club in Nairobi, Kenya. That's the dad joke for you. Defending champ, I give you 300,000 guesses, and you will not get the defending champ of the magical Kenya Open. Anybody.
You're right.
Anybody.
I won't. I remember what the trophy looks like because the trophy was so absurd.
Rhino, right?
Yeah.
Can you guess? Don't look it up, Lavanya.
I don't want to guess. I'm going to embarrass myself. I have no clue.
Jacques Krujwik.
Nope.
With all the consonants in a row.
I remember the name being brought up.
Jacques Krujwik won the magical Kenya Open. Notables he's got to fend off this week, and it's a loaded set. Rikuya Hishino, Thurston Lawrence, Matteo Manacero, Sean Norris, Antoine Rosner, Callum Tarrant, and Bernd Wiesberger. Those are your notables. I have sources on the ground at Karen. This is a podcast that covers all corners of the globe. Tentacles reach to every tour, even the Kenya Open. And at the Karen Country Club, they have rates for caddies. Let me find it here. They have rates for caddies. Now, I don't know what KSHS is, currency, Kenya something. Can somebody put up a currency calculator? They have 3-hole rates for caddies.
That's sick.
400 KSHS. Who's coming in? Like, I need a caddy, but it's the 3-hole rate.
400 KSHS Kenyan shillings is the name there. Is $3.10.
Well, that's tough. 1,500 for 18 holes. What does that convert to, PJ?
1164.
Oh my God. You know, caddy rates are kind of out of control. But I'm always scared to hopefully not come in on the low end. But I mean, it used to be like, for me, I was growing up as like $60, $75 for 2 double bag. $11 is a tough scene. Why do they need a 3-hole rate? Why do they need a 3-hole caddy rate at the Karen Country Club? No,
you only need reads on 4, 5, and 6, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. I don't know.
We did get all.
This feels kind of odd. Like, don't they just have a 3-hole option? What am I missing here?
Yeah, they have a 3-hole loop, but why did it just? I mean, don't take a caddy. It's 3 holes. You're like going out there. You're back in 10 minutes. Why you need a caddy?
Do they have carts?
No.
Well,
no.
There you have it.
Take a Sunday bag or whatever. Play 3 holes.
I think carry their own
or
bag.
Take a caddy. I just don't think it needs to be on the side. Here's the 3-hole rate. This is what I'm saying.
Well, how else are you going to know if it's not on the sign?
We also have a picture of the driving range at Karen Country Club, and it is an interesting one. PJ's pulled it up for those watching on YouTube. You've got, a barbed wire fence at one end. Doesn't look like it's not Augusta, that's for sure, but it's got charm. I love it. Looks a little beat, but that's where the DP World Tour is.
Why do you think P's not interested in winning the Rhino?
I'm kind of sad that P didn't go. Right? Commit to the DP World Tour. Get all in. Now they got to rely on Filippo Celli, Gregorio De Leo, Quinton DeBove. I mean, are there any Americans in this field?
I hope.
I mean, Hunter Logan, that's not a name. That's not a real name. I mean, you could tell me that's anybody. That's probably some sophomore hockey player like Phillips Exeter, Hunter Logan. He's not a golfer.
Making fun of the caddy rates, the driving range, then asking if there are any Americans in the field was one of the most American, 60 seconds of this podcast that you could have gone on.
That's
Brendan.
not true. I consider myself a citizen of the world. Hunter Logan is an American. Jordan Gumberg, he's done it on DP World Tour. But there are a few Americans in Kenya. That's got to be an interesting immersion, going to Kenya to play tour golf.
When are you doing in the field also? Good name to track.
Yes. We've been keeping an eye on him for a few months now as he makes his way on the DP World Tour. That does it for schedule for the week. No Champions Tour event. There's a Sunshine Hotel Planner Tour, Australian PGA. Nothing on TV, though. Those are your 3 events. We do have word that Liv's John Rahm has made his way to Disney World, though, or Disneyland, I should say. I wonder if he's like going to come over to Riv. It's Disneyland. And we have pictures of him riding the Dumbo ride, which I can attest is highly overrated, the Dumbo ride. It doesn't do anything. But if you got a little one, that's fine. But it's just great. Big burly John Rahm in the Dumbos going round and round. So
when you
off.
see that, does your heart go a little more towards like that's endearing, that's like nice that he's with his family, or like a guy that's struggling to close? I don't really need to see him flying around on Dumbo.
No, it's sick. I think it's great. I
think it's great too. It's just a bad visual for me.
No. You're way
cool.
too. You've
Excessive.
lost the plot.
No, it's good. It's good.
That's excessive.
Just let the guy take the kids to Disneyland.
I agree. It's just he blew it to AK. I don't really need to see him flying around on Dumbo.
What else do you guys have for me today? Should we go to Lamagna's tiers, or do you have other notes? I said you guys want me to take me home. Take me to the old folks.
Big piece of news that you missed. We didn't miss, but you missed. Justin Thomas is making his return to professional golf by way of a Luke Bryan video announcement saying that Luke Bryan will be in the house at the SoFi Dome next Monday night as Justin Thomas returns to the SoFi Cup champion Atlanta Drive.
Okay. I get my Luke Bryans and Jake Owens and Riley Davis or Riley Green.
Sure.
Jordan Davis.
Yep.
They're all 2 first names. They're all 2 first across the board. I get them all confused.
Okay.
But Luke Bryan's the one doing JT's announcement. He probably has some songs, good songs too.
Wasn't it Luke Combs?
No, it was Luke Bryan.
Luke
Combs is a different guy. Now we're really just spanning everything here.
Out where the wild things are.
That's Luke Combs.
I know. So is he back, or is he just back playing TGL?
I don't know. I mean, could play the cog presumably, but is back for the drive.
It's kind of sad how you Gen Z have totally rebranded the Honda, just the cog. You just call it the cog. Cognizant is just purchased.
I mean, do you want to go with the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach?
No, the Honda.
I don't.
It's still the Honda. You still got to drive your Accord in there.
I would call it the RIP Honda for the rest of my life if that were socially acceptable. But
move away from the earth, Honda.
Relocate from the earth. He died? He just moved away from the earth.
He's looking at Zillow on Mars.
He almost moved away from the earth. Bryson, complete clown. All right, let's tease. We're all over the place. Thank God we don't have an ad read. My last few ad reads have just been horrible. I've just not been able to keep up with all the notes.
Maybe why you don't have an ad read.
I think we're coming like a tsunami out there, and I got to get my stamina enthusiasm up. I have no interest in doing these ad reads right now. We got a tsunami. BJ's mortified. Right?
Well, no, that's just listen.
Go get a Cobalt for God's sakes. 15% off.
There are a lot of bullet points. I got to do better by whittling down the bullet points. The team.
No, you don't. I've just become a prima donna. We never had a PJ, and I'd have to write all the bullet points. It was great. It's fun.
It's a team game.
Oh, we'll get there. Ads are coming.
There is no I in team, but there is one in advertisement. So
one thing we do need to promote is Joseph Lamagna. We have worked on a project for a few months now, several months, I guess. It was from idea to execution to production of a tiering exercise, but not done by us, done by the experts, done by players. Maybe caddies, instructors, commentators who were players. I don't know, just a mix of people in and around the game who we would say no ball. Is that fair? Who we would trust I don't know if we trust their judgment, but we trust their certifications to comment on the game, the professional game. And so we've released this Wednesday morning on the Fried Egg Golf website. Take us through it, Lamanya. What are a few nuggets of info you'd like to point out for the people? It's pretty good. I mean, this comes from it's a Fried Egg Pro Golf Anonymous survey. It's pretty good. I've read through some of the stuff. Over the last few months. Go ahead.
I'll be quick here and just tease it, but the part I think is really cool. Don't want to pat ourselves on the back too much, but the people who participated in this really do know ball and we have some great players, like really knowledgeable people in the sport. So want to see how they view the top golfers in the world. I think there's 3 really interesting sections. Hopefully, 1, we asked them to tier all the top golfers in the world. So 42 golfers ended up making a tier. There are 4 tiers. So you can go look through, see how they stack up, and it does put them in order. So you can interpret it.
Now,
go ahead.
This is similar to Mike Sando's quarterback tier.
Yes.
Not like maybe a carbon copy, maybe a total ripoff. I don't know. Whatever. It's not. No. We wanted to try to talk to people in the game to get perspective, and what we got was this tiering exercise. I think it at the top landed kind of appropriately. Like we got some no jarring results. Maybe you would quibble with that. No. Okay.
The other thing I mentioned is people did this during the off season. So like Siwoo Kim doesn't make a tier, and if we did this now, he'd probably at least make a tier. But that's just one thing to keep in mind. People were doing this over Christmas and stuff. So
sure.
So that some of those results I think are interesting. I don't need to go through them all. Like Ludwig made tier 2, and there's only 5 players in tier 2 and 2 in tier 1. So Ludwig being rated a top 7 player in the world. I'm sure there are some people who think he's overrated. Like people who are really plugged into the game think that Ludwig is a tier 2 golfer, and you can go look at the definition to see if he meets that, if you agree with our panel here. The other stuff that I thought was interesting, just some summary stats from who was included in the top 42. There's a few of them included in the article, but there are only 2 golfers over the age of 40 who made it, Justin Rose and Adam Scott. So I think an interesting kind of state of the game.
Adam Scott made tiers?
Adam Scott barely snuck in, but both those guys are 45. And there being nobody between 40 and 44, I think is pretty interesting and a testament to their longevity.
Sure.
Cam Smith and Jordan Spieth got an identical score down to the decimal, which I thought was really interesting, both in where their games are, but also like that they're kind of similar stories, like guys who kind of scrapped it around a little bit that didn't necessarily age that well. So there's interesting stuff like that. And then we did an open-ended section at the bottom, and I think that has some pretty cool stuff in it. Who's the most underrated golfer in the world? Who's the most overrated? Who'd be the best TV analyst? What are the best and worst major championship venues in 2026? There's a bunch of stuff down there. What's one change that you'd make to the game if you were given blanket power? I thought one of those was one of the answers we highlighted was pretty sick. And from somebody who's very knowledgeable in the game said, I'd roll back the ball 10%, shrink the driver head to 360 cc max, have a max driver length of 44 inches, only let 10 clubs in the bag, and no tapping down spike marks and imperfections. And that, again, is from somebody who knows ball, is very plugged into the game, not just some random person we found to give us some crazy survey responses. So take a stroll through it. I think it's pretty cool.
Do you think these people would say this if it wasn't anonymous, something like that?
No.
Are they ready to go out on the limb and be like, we should do 10 clubs?
I think that particular submission potentially, but I think a lot of what was put into that survey, no, people would not say it with their names.
Okay. All right. Well, we spent a lot of time on this. It's kind of cool. Dive in, dig it out of the dirt, check out all the tiers. The most overrated golfer, according to Pierre's survey, is Spicy, certainly, at times.
Might be sponsored by T-Mobile.
Sometimes expected, sometimes.
I personally, if I could just butt in here, I think the most underrated golfer in the world answer is pretty great.
I bet you do.
Um,
I bet you do.
I
No,
would go so far as to say maybe after this Sunday, we're back on here discussing how the most underrated golfer in the world maybe won the Genesis Invitational. Who's
It
to
should be
say?
noted, PJ Clark was not a panelist.
No,
Yeah.
no, I didn't do this. I did not do this. But I agree.
we got
with
some
the
great
answer
people to do
discussion.
it. Yeah, we spent a lot of time. Joseph obviously dialed it in, getting this to people. So good, fun little exercise, something to check out. We'll obviously check in with it, in August. Try to build on it year over year, and sort of take a peek of like, how did this stack up? How did this survey get it? Did it get it right? And when they tiered them at the start of 26, where does it stack up now? I found this old. Speaking of asking the pros for info, Jared Hitchcock. I don't know how this came across my desk, so to speak. Tweeted an old article about how the professionals rated majors, and it's their names on it. This is not anonymous, and it's kind of wild. This is not 1955; it's 1990, I believe. And they have to list all 4 majors in a row. I'll say like a few of them just absolutely abdicated their responsibility. I mean, like Norman wrote all equal. That's like the best chicken shit thing ever. Like that's against the spirit of the exercise. Jeff Sluman, Tom Watson, of course, Tom, whatever the sort of prim and proper politician. He said they're all equal. Ben Hogan, not lost his greatest comeback title. Also said all are equal. Jack Nicklaus put the Masters 4th out of 4. Kind of crazy in 1990. At that point, he's got the U.S. Open, the British Open. He puts the PGA ahead of the Masters. Tom Kite put the Players on there 4th and no PGA, as did Lee Trevino, who just hates Augusta. Augusta didn't make 4. Lee Trevino went U.S. Open, British Open, PGA, and Players Championship. Kind of is. I mean, but that's Trevino. He and Masters did not get along. A cool exercise. Jared Hitchcock. That you have all these guys putting their name to it. They just wouldn't do this now. Some little, ticky-tack agent throw his body in front of it. Be like, oh, no, you might upset the Don Rea or the RNA or whoever. Like you might, if you put them 3rd or 4th. They all have their names on it. Lon or Bernhard put like 3 number 1 and then put PGA 4. So there's
Ball
no
knower.
dude.
Ball knower.
He put the Open, and Masters 1 and then just left 2 blank and then put the PGA 4.
I mean, you got to wonder if you were asking Bernie now, where would he put like the regions?
All right.
Like, would the regions be up there? Charles Schwab Championship? I mean, there are options for Bernie.
There were some quotes from this that you said were kind of wild, Peach.
Yeah, Trevino. I'll pull it up. I have it. I got to pull it up on my phone here. Trevino talking about how this was right after he had the 36-hole lead at the Masters, and then he did not win. And he says the Players Championship has a much stronger field, and for that reason, I put it ahead of the Masters. And it's just like the way the paragraph is written, it's totally just like Trevino is crashing out because he didn't win last year's Masters when he had a chance to, and is just now lashing out as part of the survey.
Hort Harden, by the way, who was the Masters chairman then, said, I wouldn't expect him to name the Masters if he listed 20 tournaments. Kind of incredible. I've gotten used to Jack, Harden said cryptically. So Jack put it forth. He's very opinionated and is all his own man. So that's interesting at this point. Jack and the Masters not on great terms.
To be fair, Nicholas has a quote in there that says it's his favorite event that he looks forward to, but he put it forth because it is a tournament, not a championship.
It's not a real championship.
Oh my God. Okay. All
Ben
right.
Crenshaw, I don't think I could live without an Open Championship.
He has that one.
No, he has a 2 to the Masters.
That's
but
I figure the Masters. Okay.
But some of these quotes are pretty wild.
All right, good. This was a good little tiering of their own versus the
We're all about tiers.
Yeah.
We need to have PJ do it. Can we have PJ do an anonymous champion store survey? That would honestly be unbelievably fun. Who's the most underrated guy out here? Top player over 60.
I would say like who's the one most likely committing cart fraudulently using a cart. Just have them all like guessing the like that's a fake ailment, fake doctor's note. That'd be a good one.
That could be anybody.
I mean, it sounds like it wasn't Goidos the guy who went nuts on the whole over abuse of cart usage last year.
So now what we have to do, you want to really do this right? The three of us got to go get boots on the ground at the Insperity, get the recorder out, throw it on the table, and get some quotes. Bring it full circle.
The Tiger doesn't need to do this. Sad. All right. Anything else?
He's getting paid to do it.
Insperity. Anything else for this Wednesday episode? Notes, odds and ends. All right.
I don't think so.
Enjoy it. I enjoyed this Wednesday episode with the boys. We'll be back Friday. Have a round of Genesis Invitational to dig into. We'll talk to you then.
You'll honor it then.